Yo, yo, yo. I think it's not working. Let's just confirm and then we'll go on to our model for today. So I think it's live. Let me just double check audio. Let me just double check audio. Okay, sweet. Today we're going to be knocking out one of these models. From the look of things, we're going to be doing carjacks, right? Um, I already have stuffs open here and references that I could pull from to create this jack. For this jack, we're going to do one, we're going to do another. This is also a jack, and then we're going to do this one. This one uses a pole attached to the back of this, and then it has a pulley system that you can use to lift that up. But you know what? Let me see if I can look for a real one. Car jack. Like a real life, exactly. I think this is what that looks like. Right? Let me just check. Where Adele. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so this is going to be one of them. So let's get on with this. I am going to, I think I already have Blender opened up. But it's not opened up here. I'm going to drag to this window, and here we have it. Let me just check my stream one more time before I get onto the modeling for today. How are you guys doing? Just go back from work, freshened up, and we're here. We have it. Let me just check my stream one more time before I get onto the modeling for today. How are you guys doing? Just go back from work, freshened up, and all right. I'm going to clear out the scene, and then I'll bring in a reference. The reference I'm going to be bringing in is open, and then I'm going to just drag this in. For this, I'll rotate position and that, and then I'll rotate and then x-axis, scale that down, and GZ up to the surface. And GY, I'm going to bring in a cube and GZ up. One second, I need to reply a message and I'll get back on. Right. I'm going to go to the front view, and then this I can scale on the X, but this I'll just GX a smidge, just a smidge right here. I think right here is good. I can SX, and then I can scale this down, and this I want to fade into the background a little bit. So we have this. So I think I'll just start from the base. From what that base looks like, it looks something like this to me. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 loops in the center. Right, scale it on the X. And then I'm going to open this part up. 1, These parts are going to be opened up. Delete those faces. And then in front view right here, maybe this should move to the center just like so. So these two I will SX, and these two SX just a little bit. And then I'll scale this on the X also. GZ. And then this, I am going to select these two and these two and just drop all of that down, basically. As a matter of fact, I feel like these two at the back here are deleted, or maybe that's so much more lower. I'll do it like that, so much more lower. Then I think we have this basic shape. Only thing is that I want to see this on the actual side view. I want to see whether that's flat on the ground or it lifts up. So what I'm saying is, I want to see whether this right here is flat on the ground or it lifts up a little bit like this. Okay, it looks like it lifts up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is select those and just GZ slightly, right? So we have this. I am going to select this, and GZ. Right, that looks good. And then I want to add a loop right here so I can bring cursor to this point. I'm going to just add the cylinder, tiny, and then I'm going to add in another cylinder, but this one is going to be 6 sides. Scale that down. I'm going to bring frame to this, scale on the Z, GZ, S, scale on the Z, and GZ, just like so. So I'm going to select this to, or this alone, apply that scale, and then I'll bevel that just like so. Then this I'll shade smooth, then I can join both meshes. This right here I'll just bevel. I want to apply scale and then bevel that. That's neat. Right here I'm going to mirror to this side and then mirror to the other end, and we have this not completely done. I think what I'm going to do to this one is to add a thickness, maybe like a solidify to it, just like so, and we should be done with this. But I'm going to apply the scale and do that again. Solidify, maybe the other way. Cool. So this is done. I'm going to add in some more knots on this side, right? Bring cursor to this point. I'm going to select this, select all of that, and GZ up to the surface. Right here, I'm going to bring in another knot, but okay, I think it's just like a cylinder, basic one. So I'm just going to put this up back to 32, switch the view and just scale that down. Right, I can GY, GX, I can scale on the Y and GY. Apply that scale, select this face, bevel that. I can right click, shade auto smooth, select this, and then mirror to the other side. This also, I think I want to mirror to this side too. So this would apply. Then I'm going to create this right here. I'm going to be using this as a reference just to make sure I'm on point with how this looks. First of all, I'm going to bring in a cube, right? Scale that. No, I want to bring a cube to the center, then scale that all the way down. I'm going to GZ, scale on the Z, scale on everywhere apart from the Z. Then I can rotate this just like so, or I'll still keep this, then just rotate. Or you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in all the old features, but it's going to be straight on when I'm going to be applying the features. So first of all, this top part is going to be off. Then this is rounded off. And I think the back of this is closed off too. Then we have some detail here. The one that I'm most concerned about is this hump on this side. So let's just get onto it. I think the first thing that is important for this part of the model rather is making sure that this part is completely opened off, right? And then right here, you know what? I'm going to call that back. And then I'm going to round this off first. Apply scale. Round it off. You know what? Let's round it off again, but with the higher count of loops. Then I'm going to select this right here, and then this, and delete those faces. So we got those. I'm going to select all and then merge by distance. This edge, I'm going to delete that edge. So this looks good. Right here, you know what? I'm going to join this and then join this. So I should be able to add a loop all around here. So I'm going to bring in a loop right here. GZ. I'm going to bevel that into 3. I'm going to take this center one, bevel it one more time. And then these 2 edges right here, I can GY or GX. Just pull all of that out. Right? One more thing is this. I think this is going to be SX0 GX, and then bevel that. So this right here, I can select and extrude. Right? So this, I'm going to select this and join, select this and join. These 2, I'm going to join, these 2, join, and then these 2, join. So we have this. I'm going to apply subdivision to it and see how it holds up. Obviously not looking right, so I'm going to add no loop to that side. Let me first of all recalculate the normals. Then I'm going to pull edge back here, pull edge back here. So whatever it is I have here, I want to mirror to the other side. Then this edge, I'm going to clip to the top, clip to the bottom, clip to the side, clip on this side. And then when I say clip, I mean like just adding support loops basically. So this I can shade auto smooth, right? And then this right here, I want to loosen that up just a smidge, right? The reason I want to loosen that up is I want to be able to add, see if I can add an edge loop here. Let's see. Okay, I think for something like this, I'm just going to leave it at the former formation. That's this. This is what I think it looks like for now. Something that I think also needs to be introduced is this right here. So I'm going to select this edge, scale on the Z, and then turn this off, select this 3 and then GY. Then add up, put the mirror modifier in. Then this face, what I can do is I'm going to select all of this right here. And I want to see if I can insert to be able to create a circle. Let's see. We have an insert. Can I scale that in? Looks possible actually. Insert. Just slightly scale that in. Turn this into a circle. Move this to this position. Rotate. Scale that a tiny bit. Then so I think this should be loosened up a little bit. GG. GG. Solve that. Add more edge loop on that. Then I can maxim 3L, delete those faces, flip this to the other side, apply that mirror. I'm going to select this, fill that, extrude 1, 2, insert, separate that P. Bring this out, and then I'm going to select this face, insert it just like so, and then this one and this one are going to be deleted, and then I'm going to select this 2 and EY. No, EY. Why isn't it extruding? EY. Select this, fill that, select this, fill that, select this, fill that, fill that, fill that. I'm going to fill this also, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so this obviously needs some love, so I'm going to insert this, hold that up. I think I can also let's see if I can add a main crease to that part. Turn back on that subdivision. So I think a main crease is going to work. So I'm going to select all of these corners, and I'll put in a main crease to hold up that shape. I think this included main crease. Bring in this, and this looks very, very weird because so why don't I just add a bevel to that? right? So we have this, but I feel like it is a lot more slimmer in that it is something like this. GY, flip, this also flip, apply that mirror, apply that mirror. This right here, I'm going to apply some thickness to it. GY, or select this GY, bring this out, flip this to the other side. So I think we got one part of this. So I'm going to try to rotate this into position. So this right here, I'm going to move to around this spot, and then using this spot of the pivots, and then switching my pivot to 3D cursor, I'm going to rotate that just like so. So it's looking like we are short by a little bit. So I'm going to go back, select all of this and GZ. I'm going to bring that back and then rotate, and it stays. It works. That's cool. Something I can do is try to make sure this aligns together basically. So with that, I think I'm going to take this, and take this, go to the side view, and then I'm probably just going to bring this in a smidge. And then I'm going to GY. So that's cool. I'm going to mirror this to this side, mirror to this side. Apply that mirror. Same thing will apply to the north mirror. You know what? Mirror, then mirror. I'm going to go to the north, apply that mirror. Then I think this right here, I probably want to just delete it because this is like an overshoot. So I'm going to just select this part and delete these vertices. I hope still holds up. But something about this part needs to come up a little bit. So I'm going to GZ this just a smidge and then rotate. In this part, I'm going to delete vertices. So we have that. Next up is I'm going to select this, select this also. I think this, I'm going to apply the mirror on this, and then on the other side I want to make it look something like this. Apply subdivision. Ooh, don't apply subdivision, I beg. Jesus Christ. As a matter of fact, bring that subdivision down. Turn off. 1, 2, and then holding. 3. So we have that. I'm going to select both and then rotate on the pivots to the other side. So we have that. For the top part, what is it looking like? Is it looking like the same thing? It's looking like the same thing to me. I won't even lie. It's looking not like I'm being lazy, but it's looking like the same thing, dog. Like the only thing I'm seeing differently is these holes here, and we can't even tell like it might be on this one too. So I am going to model that. Before I do that, let me just check the screen and then make sure that we're still good. I am going to, okay, we're still good on the stream. Yeah, you guessed right. I'm going to actually just take this and move it to the top. Select the Shift D, Z, I'm going to RX 90. No, RX 120. RX 180 GZ up to the top. Right here, I can bring this and then I can rotate just like so. G, bring this in. I'm going to separate this selection, isolate this, and what I want to do is make it smaller. So right here, I can GY. Apply that. Then I think this is good. Only thing is that mesh seems to be clipping here, so I'm going to select all and SY, or bring select all SY. SY. Okay, that's solved. The top part, let me see. Looks something like this. Squared, round, round. Let's try this. This is not supposed to be this round. Like this right here. Is it possible to GG? GG. Turn off solidify. GG. Select all, mesh by distance. Or instead of doing that, I can turn on subdivision and just GG. Try to make that part sharper. Then I'm going to use this as, ooh, no, we're not doing that. Select this using this as a pivot. I can flip. Right, that's good. Apply mirror, bring in subdivision. Looks good to me. I think the holes here is something I want to add, so I'm going to select this. Bevel. I think here is going to be one of the holes. I think right here. GG. Ah. Whoa. Delete that face. Ah, what's going on? Delete face. Delete face. GG. Or just come to the side. I'll move this thing myself. Like G. Flip. Select this. Scale. So I'm going to do the top right now. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale down that cube, GZ, scale down, GZ. I'm going to scale this, GZ. This looks something like this to me. So right here is going to be faces eliminated, right? Then this is going to be a loop down here. Then these edges are going to be GZ brought down just a smidge. And this I can SX, oh sorry, SY. Right, and this right here I can GZ. And this I'll just GZ all the way down. What I want to bring in here is a knot, but before I do that, I'm going to apply scale, select all, and extrude along normals. Right, so right here I can apply, bring this in, right here, bring in a cursor. This I can, you know what, maybe I can just bring in a cylinder myself instead of borrowing that. So I can RX 90, scale all that down, and GX. Right, so I can SY and apply scale. This I can bevel, GY. I would select this and select this, then mirror to this spot. I'll do it to the other side too, so I can select this and apply the entire mirror. So we're good on that. This part is slightly rotated, so I'm going to select this edge and then this edge and then bevel those, flip, mirror. I'm going to bevel this modifier. Then up top right here, I'm going to bring in this top. That top looks something like a cube. Then right here is GZ'd up a little. I'm going to bring down the height, and then these faces are taking off. Right, I'm going to do something like so, and then these edges, I'm choosing this, select this, select this, select this, select this, and I can easy. And then on this side I can just select this to an EY or EX rather. Right, so I can just flip this to the other side. That's good. This I can GZ all the way to the top. This I can bring in a cylinder, scale on the Z, scale SZ, just like so. Give the same treatment to this. I'm going to bevel, and I think this also I probably want to insert, and then I'm going to insert again. I'm going to turn this into a circle, scale this down. I'm going to delete that face, and then I'm going to make this into a circle again. Why is that not working? That's strange. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to bevel that just a smidge, and then this edge is right now. And then this I'm also going to bevel, and then I'll select this and add a solidify, shade smooth. This I'm going to GZ, and then shade auto smooth, shape shift C. So this is looking more like it. We have a rod running through, running through down here. So I'm going to centralize that 3D cursor, bring in a cylinder. You see a cylinder? I think it's because this has spirals going through it. So could it be a curve, a knot? Hmm. Extras. Which one of these used to have the Archimedes something? Yeah, Archimedes this. So something like this. Yeah, where is it? Spiral, Archimedes, and then I'll put this at 0. Lift the height. That's too long. Bring that down. Down even more. Down more. Radius is going to come down. I think that height should even come down more. Radius is going to come down. Height is going to be 0.6. Right, and then what? Jesus, what? All the settings have been set. Oh my god. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in a cylinder. RY 90. Scale that down. In the front view, I can GZ. Scale that a smidge GZ. And then SX. All the way out, just like so. So the spring that I brought in, I'm going to scale it just like so. S shift Y, S shift X. I'm going to select this geometry. I'm going to add a little bit of depth to that. And then I think this height is going to come down a little bit. The height of that spring. I hope I'm still on. Like, they just took power, so I'll just quickly check my stream, make sure I'm still good. And they just took power, so I'll just quickly check my stream, make sure I'm still good. And whoa, Salah one. Shout out to you for being on. And as I usually do, I'll go to people's channels to check. And I think the reason I do go to people's channel to check is to see if they're like Blender users or 3D artists, basically. And your question is, brother, do you think I can make money from modeling if I learn it? And I would assume that like a lot of where this question might be coming from is from, the whole advent of AI and stuff and all of that. I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, at this stage, no skill is like wasted efforts at the end of the day. You might have a harder time having to like decide whether to do 3D modeling or not because they are just a plethora of websites that can give you the model with great topology, or let me not say great topology, but with decent topology in very little amount of time. And you begin to ask yourself, like, what's the point of, learning 3D modeling and stuff? But like at the end of the day, these are skills that, is still in demand. no be choice. Like, are you Nigerian? So if I say no be choice, will you, I don't know if you would understand. Like, it is still in demand. It's just, you don't even need to find the niche. I'm going to tell you the niche right now. Like, they are game developers that create a lot of like games on Roblox, games on Fortnite, and those kind of modular games like that. Even Minecraft, like those people are looking for model 3D models online to put into their world and stuff like that. And those do really well in the marketplace. Like, you can model those, they are low efforts, they are things that you can model in no time, you know. Those are things that can actually get you that bread. However, um if you are coming from the angle of AI and the likes, I mean, I feel like this is even time for you to even double down on learning it, because what is going to differentiate great designers from good designers in this age is really things that you cannot take away. Like, AI can take away all other things, can take away the tools, but the how do I call it? There are certain things that AI can't take away. And I think AI is currently struggling with that. And that is taste and your fundamentals. Like, your taste as a designer, it's not replicated right now. It's going to take some time for you to be replicated. But if you had that very, very high taste and very, very good taste for what good design should look like, that's going to be a good differentiating factor. So if you're going into modeling right now, just going with the mindset of trying to make sure that your model is on point in terms of proportion, and that's part of like the fundamentals that I talked about in terms of the proportions, in terms of the scale. Those are things that I mean, it can get scale and all that, but like, once you hone in on the fundamentals as a human, it's just going to be add to your strength, add to your taste, and all of those stuff. It's going to pile up to be a complete set of skill. So, I mean, if you're going into it, go in with the right set of tutorials, right set of mindset. Because when I learned this in 2020, I kind of was winging it. So I wasn't so much concerned about topology and likes. But right now, like, if you're making a game ready asset, it needs to be tight, it needs to be good. Make sure you figure out ways to put it on CGTrader, Turbo Squid, Sketchfab, and all of that. Like, if you have a lot of this, you can at least make, I don't know what your plan is, but $15 a day, $20 a day isn't bad. Like, that's not a bad sale in my books. So if you have all of this on all those um different websites, it could work for you. It could work definitely. So yeah, that's what I'm just going to say. I'm going to get back to modeling right now, and if you had any more thing to kind of add, to ask me, or some clarifying question, you can drop. I would always come back to chat as I'm working. Clarifying question. Alrighty. So I'm going to go back to this RY90. Alright, so I'm going to bring this all the way GZ. And want to use this to wrap around that cylinder. So I can GX this out. So this right here, can delete those vertices, and we're going to model the ending part of this. That's this part right here. This is looking like a cylinder, kind of like this. So I'm going to bring in, or maybe I can duplicate this cylinder, Shift D, SX. I can GY or GX rather, scale on all apart from the Y. No, scale on all apart from the X. I'm going to bring that up, and then this right here, I'm going to GX, bring this in, and then GY, I'm going to scale and then bevel this. And I'm going to add one more thing to the reply I just gave. I think one thing that people kind of like at the end of the day is proof. Like you can say all the inspirational stuff that you can say or you want to say. If there is no proof, it doesn't land and it's not so much believable. The proof is always in the pudding, like it's in the shit in that sense. In full transparency, my CGTrader with just 12 models in it, its lifetime sale is at $400. Not a lot, very, very low. However, I know someone that makes 2K every month on CGTrader, and this guy has thousands of model on his CGTrader, right? So this challenge I'm doing essentially at the end of the day is to find out if volume can actually work. You know, if I'm making that amount for lifetime sales out of just 12 models, what will happen if I have like over 100? You know, so I think that's even why this challenge is going on for me. I want to see what that is going to look like. So yeah, man, if you want to learn 3D modeling, please go ahead. Like AI is not stopping anything at the moment for anyone. Just learn. And there's something my brother would say, like in this AI age, what's going to differentiate us again, apart from I think I mentioned taste, something else is going to that is going to differentiate us is he calls it conceptual strength, right? So how good is your storytelling? How good is your ability to come up with like great concept for whatever it is you're working on? You know, so those are also going to be like huge differentiating factors. Um, so I think this is pretty much good. I'm done with this jack. It looks slim, really slim. And I feel like I want to take everything and just scale it on the Y just like so. But it's going to make it look weird. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'll move this to a new collection called Car Jack 1. This is going to go into one collection. Man, but this thing is slim though. Like it's really, really slim. I feel like I want to rectify this. Right? Let me try to do it. I'm going to try to rectify this. So this, I'm going to GY, bring this out just a little bit, selecting this and selecting this last, and I'm flipping. This also is going to flip. This is good. So this right here, I can come to the front view, select all of this right here, and GY, bring this out just like so, and then flip this. I think this also I want to bring out, but I would fill this face first and fill this face. Then right here, I can select these and GY, bring this out. Then I can flip to the other part. Then this, I can select this and bring out. GY, just like so. Then this, I'm going to GY. That's good. I think this right here, it needs something. So I'm just going to put in a cylinder. I can't really see what's going on there. So I'm just going to bring in the Shift D, X, scale on the X axis, GX, and scale on everywhere apart from the X. S Shift X. Then this and this, I can frame those, insert, select this, and then scale along individual origins. Then I think I can bridge those. Right here, I'll bevel this, and that's all. This card jack one is done. I'm going to go to the second one. Second one is this right here. I don't know where this jack is from, but we're going to model it today. I think I'll take a screenshot. This has run its course, so I'm going to turn that off. Bring this in. RX90. You can turn this, move this in the Z, and then you can scale this down, bring this up to the surface, and then this I'm going to turn on opacity and bring down that opacity. So GZ, I'm going to bring in a cube, GZ up to the surface, scale that down. I can SX all the way like so, and then SZ. If this gives me, I promise you, if this gives me any kind of like problems or too much headache, just watch out how I'm going to ditch this model. So I'm going to add this. I think I'm going to add to this part too. Then this also I'm going to bring down here. So this I'm going to GX, bring it all the way out. This part is going to be GZ all the way up. I'll bring this here, and then I can connect this to this to this J, and then the connection goes all the way to this part and this part. So this entire loop right here, I want to create an offset with those. So I can offset. Oh, okay, you're not offsetting, so I can just bevel that. Then can fill this, remove these vertices, dissolve this vertex. This right here comes to this point. I can fill this, add a loop down here. This combines with, this creates a face here, creates an edge, this fills this, and then this fills at that. So we have this. So this looks like something like this to me. So I can select this loop, right? Select this one also. I'm going to select all of these faces, and then I can GY, push this out just like so. So can I dissolve this edge? I think I can dissolve that edge and we still maintain our shape. So this, I think this is the shape, except of course, I think this down part comes, it extrude down a little bit. So I can select that and scale on the X axis. But I want to do it around bounding box, scale on the X, GZ, scale on the X. Right, that's good. Right here, there's also a shape that kind of mirrors this one. So I'm going to go something like this. Use a knife tool, cut just like so. Use a knife tool and cut just like so. So I'm going to add, you know what, two loops, two loops. I'm going to J and J, then this right here, I'm going to dissolve those, and then this I'll just scale that. I'm going to insert, I'm going to add scale for, apply scale, insert this, and just GY. Before I go any further, I want to tidy up this topology. All right, so I think tidying topology for me would look something like this: 2, 3, 4. Right, so we have that right here. I'm going to K, K, and K. So this is going to come down here. Oh, merge by distance. This can be dissolved, this can be dissolved, and then this can join at this point, merge at last. And then maybe this and dissolve this edge and then merge this at last. Then maybe I can have J, join those. I want to bring in a loop right here. Then I can join those. So I'm going to flip this to the other side. That's good. Apply that mirror. Next I'm going to do is, see this rock here that looks like a gun is going to be a boolean for me. So I'm going to look closely first, see what it looks like. It's round, but I feel like I want to make mine a chamfer. So I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that down. Right here, I would GY, GZ, move this out just a smidge. I can scale this, scale it on the Z, just like so. Scale it on the Y, GY, and looks like this. This right here should go up, GX, just like so. I feel like I'm going to add a loop join right there. This I'll add here, I'll add here, and then this I'm going to join, this I'm going to join. I'm going to join. Why is it not joined? Or can I just cut? Why can't I connect these two vertices? Or is this a fake face? Delete face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fail. Then fail. And fail. Okay, sweet. I'm going to apply scale on this. Select these edges just like so. And I'll bevel that. I'm going to bevel that again, but with higher amount. Select all, merge by distance, and then right here on the inside I'm going to bevel this part, and then this is going to be a different bevel. So let me bring in all the other things. Right here I'll rotate to be same angle with that, GX, rotate, and I'll select all and shift DX, rock that all the way up. I'm going to scale that, and I'll shade this smooth and GY. And this right here, I will do a difference on that. But you see these faces? I'm going to select these faces. And I'll move it in. because I want to do a chamfer on this, but it's not like going to be a real chamfer. It's going to be like an inverse chamfer. So I'm going to flip that normal and then do that chamfer again, and you see the effect it gives. So I'm going to apply this boolean. I'm going to take out the cutter, and we have this. So this is good. Right here I want to create a circle, so I can scale that down, turn this into a circle, and then I can start extruding. GX extrude, Alt ES, scale, extrude, ES, extrude, ES, extrude. I'm going to extrude one more. As a matter of fact, let me just ES, extrude, ES, extrude, and then extrude again. So all of these parts, I'm going to select this, extrude along normals, select this face, extrude along normals. So that's good. I'm going to shade auto smooth. However, it's affecting the other one, so I'm going to select more. And probably want to separate the selection. Right, so right here I can select this, select this, select this, select this. And what I want to do with all of this selection is I want to add a bevel. Add a bevel. Shade smooth. This, I want to see if I can add a general bevel to it. I can't, messing up the shape, so I'm just going to come on each ones and give those separate bevels. Bevel this, right? This loop, this loop. I'm going to bevel those. Right, that's cool. Shade auto smooth. I think this I want to flip. Flip, apply that mirror. This handle right here is looking something like this. Oh, this platform is elevated, so all of these faces, I can extrude on the Z and then scale on the X. All right. extrude GZ, close off the surface, SX, this. Show me this spiral. I'll scale. I'm going to select this, bring cursor to this point, select this, bring this to cursor, scale, and GZ. Then I would select all of that, clear out. I'm going to scale on the Z. This, I'm going to bring cursor to this point. Let me see what that looks like. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that GC, SXY. I'm going to bring that in GC. I'm going to select these, bevel that, select this GZ or extrude on GZ. Select this, apply scale, bevel that, SX, then SX. Right here, I want to bring cursor to this point. I want to bring in a cylinder, scale that down, SZ. I think this part right here definitely would have some kind of a bevel. Then this goes in GZ, and I'll join both and just mirror to the other side. Right, this same thing I'm going to have on this side also, but it is so much slimmer than it is right now, so maybe I should rework that. SX, GX, scale, SZ, GZ. Flip this, GY, shift DY, flip, apply, shade auto smooth. I'm going to join that, select, move this down here on the X, and then this is going to dig down. Then between these two, I'll bring in a cylinder, or I'm going to centralize that, bring in a cylinder. I'm going to RY90, and then I want to put that cylinder exactly in between here, SX. So this can GZ, GX. Then this I can bevel. Then right here, I can extrude this along normals, just like so. So that looks like a vibe. I think this, I want to round this off and just generally make it softer. bevel, apply that scale, bevel. I'm going to add a general bevel to this, add that subdivision. I'm going to link both object data, but it's not working. So I'm going to delete this, shift DX, right? But right here I can GZ. Then right here there's something that I didn't account for, but let me see if I can introduce it. Wow, this is going to be a tricky one. I'm going to take the knife tool and just cut here like so. So this part, I'm going to use a knife tool, take it to the back, select this, delete those faces. I'll select this and this, go to the top view and EY. Right, I'll select this. 1, 2. I'll fill. Wow, how do I close this up? Fill. 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 So this part, if I delete this vertex, this whole place is exposed. So I can close it up like so. Fill. Add an edge right here. Select this edge. Fill that. Fill. And then fill. So this right here looks problematic. So I'm going to take only one of it, delete those vertices, come to the top view and GY. Right, flip this. Can I link object data? Let's see. GZ. Wow. RX90, scale that down. I can GZ, GX, and on the side view I can just bring this like so, select this and extrude on the X. I can XX 0, select this bevel, and then this right here I can GX. GY. Can select all of that and then extrude along normals. Right. Select this, flip to the other side. This cylinder view, scale down. SX GZ. I can join this, right? And I'm going to make a hole right here. GX insert, subdivide, turn this into a circle, scale down but along individual origins, and then bridge. I'm going to scale just like so. So we have this. Looks too sci-fi-ish. I'll be completely honest. Looks very, very sci-fi-ish. I want to take this on Alt S. No? Alt S. This the other, so I can bring this into new collection card jack 2. Turn that off, and last but not the least, we're going to model the last one, that is this. Really not sure how I'm going to approach this, but let's see how it goes. Just 1 second for me to text, and I'll be back with you guys shortly. I'll just check the stream and would continue with this carjack series. Yo, I'll just check the stream and Salah. You're welcome. If you need some guidance on materials that you would want to, I don't think you'll be on stream by right now, but like if by chance you're still on, if you need guidance on the material that you want to use to start learning, I could help with recommendations. I think part of being an efficient like 3D artist or 3D modeler is getting on with the right course. That is very, very, very important. So yeah, just hit me up. I think I have my email on my channel. I also have my Instagram account. You can hit me up anywhere and out. I can help you with that. So I'm going to take this out, and then we are going to jump on to this one. And in all honesty, I'm not sure I feel like modeling this right now. Just give me a second to think. If I actually do see myself modeling this. Because I'm looking at the time right now. And I have a hard stop for 9. But this right here is also a really popular jack, like it's really like Nigerian. This is like the second jack I ever saw in Nigeria. So feels like something that's a staple in a way. So I'm just going to go for it. And if I can stop this by 9:30, that's a win. 7 done. I would insert, turn this into circle, scale this down, extrude this all the way to the top, just like so. So I can insert, scale that, extrude in, right? So this I can insert and then turn into a circle, right? So I can extrude this on its own, insert and extrude this. So we have this first, and then this part also should also be turned into, subdivided into a circle, right? I'm going to scale that down, turn that into a circle again, and this is going to be extruded out just like so. GY, GX, insert and insert this. Right here there are some supports on this side that goes like this, J and then J. So I'm going to select this entire loop, or maybe just this one, and I'm going to bevel that, or dissolve edge. Extrude on the Z all the way to the top, GZ, and then GZ. Flip, flip, apply. I'm going to join to this. Oh no, this is going to join to this. Dissolve this edge, and then okay, I think that's correct joining. I'm going to add another loop right here, and this is going to join, this is going to join. I can flip, flip, so that's cool. I think right here I probably want to just start adding holding bevels. Bevel, right here, and then this is going to be joined GZ, add this, GY. At last, at last. Can I merge by distance? Then can I take this? Oh, at last. Fail. So can I take this and bevel? Oh, bevel. Mm-mm. Sets. Shift D. Separate that selection and I'll extrude. Make sure subdivision turned off. Let's see how the extrusion goes. It goes all the way to the top. Cheesy. Cheesy. Delete faces. Fill this and then bevel. let's see, 0. Bevel. Is there a way to convert? How many vertices is this? This 24 verts. Can I bring in a circle of 6 to this point? Let's see. A circle of 6 vertices. Scale that. Huh? L P, separate that. Scale that down. Right. I'm going to bring origin to this point, bring this to this, and then this edge right here, I'm going to delete this face. So I can scale this, and then 24, I think I'm going to add 4 in between each of this. So I'm going to subdivide this by, is it 4 or 3? Let me see. Subdivide this by 3. Subdivide this by 3. Subdivide by 3. Subdivide by 3. And then this also is subdivided by 3. This subdivide by 3. I'm going to go to view, frame this, and then I can J connect this, and this will be F, and then I can come to the side and just fill all of that fun stuff. And then this I can easy, right? And then scale it in, turn that into a circle, and then extrude on the Z. This is a menace ES. I can easy fill that, separate that selection, select this scale, and then easy. And then I can fill this with a cylinder on top. Let's see. Juicy. Then this cylinder has a star quality to it, so I'm going to G, go to the top view, join, so I can select this and just extrude and scale all of this on the Z, scale a little bit on this, shade auto smooth, and then I can add bevels on those. Select that, scale, this is good, but this face needs to come in a little more. Okay, so we're going to have this part. I feel like this entire thing here should be higher than this. I'm going to select the inner face for Shift D, P, and then I can extrude this just like so. Extrude again, and right here, I'm going to select this, and then I can come to the side and just fill all of this. So I'm going to G, go to the top view, join, and then I can I'm going to extrude along normals, but this is going to be scaled in and E. Bevel. 1 2 1 2. Bevel. Apply subdivision. That's good. I can turn on subdivision on this, and this has a cylinder, so I can extrude this, select boundary loops, bevel that, select these faces, boundary loops, then the mechanism on this is just, it's crazy. This is already time. Wow. Oh. What do I want to do? You know what? I'm going to call it a wrap at this point. This is still in progress. It's not done. So it's going to be sort of a carryover till tomorrow. I'm going to save this as day 77. Day 77, and day 77 is carjack. So this can be new collection carjack 3, and this I'm going to peg at 6. All right. So yeah, that's it, guys. So long, and until I see you guys in the next one. Peace.